Well, good morning. Just want to kind of pick apart some battle reports and kind of give you some tips on what to do, what not to do. Mind you, all this is kind of dependent on your gear and your research. And I'll show you my research and my gear so you understand why I did certain things the way I did them. We're going to start at the 1 hour mark. So my first target, you'll notice I didn't really scout many people. I just went in and attacked. This person only had 6,700 troops, wiped them all out. But if you want to look at like you'll see I only wounded 6 and killed 134. It kind of gives you the breakdown of what went in and what didn't. So if you click on I, it's going to give you the exact breakdown and tell you what did the damage and what didn't do the damage. So you'll see here that for the most part, what I lost the most of was my infantry. First of all, infantry is not a typical troop that you're going to want to attack with. I just attack with everything that I have because, well, I only have a certain amount of troops, and that's just how I do things. But infantry is typically a defensive troop, so you don't normally want to attack with those. You really want to go in with your ranged and your siege. Siege is going to go in and actually beat up the wall of your opponent. Your range is going to hit from a distance after your infantry and your cavalry attacks. So you want to send a little bit of infantry and a little bit of cavalry, but you want to be super heavy on your ranged. And that will help you kind of do more damage. Now, being that we're so early in the game, it's kind of hard to do that. So let me kind of go to the next battle report. Alright, so scrolling down, attacked, I only lost, wounded 14 troops, killed 294, wounded 12,000, killed 273 of theirs. That's actually a very good day. They lost a lot more power than I did, and I got some of the resources. So, pretty good attack. If you want to look at this, you know, you're going to see, let's see, again, you'll notice, let's see, this time, the majority that I lost, let's see, again, is going to be your infantry. So this just goes to prove that infantry is typically a defensive, defensive troop. So on to the next battle report. Had a little heyday over at SATA. They're pretty mad right now. So another, is this the same battle report? Hold on, let me go back out. Let's see, I want to make sure that I'm giving you accurate information. So we were on to the third one. So another 12,500 lost to wounded, 273 killed. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. I think I hit them twice. Good resources, can't really blame me. So I might have hit them 3 times. Whoops. That's a different person. So, a couple people I hit a few times just because I wanted some resources. And so this one, they activated their peace shield. What was really funny about this guy is because then he attacked me, so I'll show you here in a minute. He thought he was being slick. He set his peace shield, and then he decided to go ahead and attack me at one point. And I'll point out, oh, here it is. So he marched on me and lost 12,750. No, this isn't him. This is when I attacked somebody else. Again, lost an immense amount. You'll notice that I killed none. Now, what this means is that all of their hospitals were not filled. So they must have, relatively decent hospitals, or at least enough to cover the 12,000 that they had in their castle, which is great. Alright, so I actually lost here because he hit me while some of my troops were out. But he did lose 2,400 troops, and that was the guy that I was just mentioning. And then he marched on me again in the future, and I'll show you that again. This right here, I do not recommend this to anybody, but what I did is I marched on their actual seat that they were holding. My thought was, I just want to see how I fare against almost 74,000 troops. Now, mind you, these were all somewhat smaller players. I'm not a huge player. I'm you know, Castle Stronghold 16 at this point. So I've got okay troops, not fantastic amounts of troops, but I decided to go ahead and march on them, and I do have some research that kind of protects me a little bit. As you can see, 23,000 of my troops still lived, but I did lose 13,000. I wounded a little bit, but for the most part, you know, it wasn't that bad. I mean, obviously it was a loss. I can't really, you know, blame me there, but it was kind of a neat experiment just to see how I would do going against that entire group. And especially since, and I'm going to show you the research in a minute, since I had this certain research in place, it kind of protected a good portion of my troops. So let's go on to the next one. Alright, so this is when that guy that shielded decided to march on me again. And this was right after I had hit that seat. And he marched on me, and I just left my troops at home. And you'll see he wounded 257 of my troops and lost 12,000 of his. So I'm pretty sure that he's not too happy right now. Just in case one of SATA's watching, you can take a look at the cords up there. 7531177. You'll see who that was. And moving on, so, oh, there he is again. He activated a P shield. Let's see, let's go down here. Another one that I attacked, lost 32 troops to wounded, 586 to kills, and then I injured or wounded 16,000, almost 17,000. Those are actually good numbers. So when the game actually starts to implement kills, these will still count as kills. Now, obviously some people are like, well, it's not permanent, dead, blah, blah, blah. Only people that are like really butthurt say stuff like that, because a kill is a kill is a kill. If you're able to wound 56,000 troops of a person, they still have to heal those. That comes at a cost. So then, I think I hit them again. And here's where somebody came in. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I attacked somebody, lost 746 or 49 troops to death, 41 to wounded. They had 6,000 go to their hospital and 12,000 died. Fantastic kill, especially since I got stone and iron out of that. Really, really good one. Let's see, going on to the next one. Let's see. I was going to hit this guy. I was scanning him and I was like, okay, he's got quite a bit of troops. But I was going to chance it, specifically because I had just chanced it on the seat. And they should have just let me hit this guy. If they think they're all that big and bad, they should have just let me hit this guy, and maybe I would have lost something. But I had full intention. I was going to march on him. And then they hit me. So I was like, ah. So I didn't really get a chance to get in there and do any damage. So then, let's see. This guy hit me. He lost 5,200, wounded 217, and 6,200 of mine went to the hospital. And I think that was the last attack. And then I shielded, because here's the thing. Even the best attackers or defenders, you need to know your limits. We're still at the very beginning stages of this game. You really don't want to press your luck. And, you know, just because I don't respect some of their players and how they talk to people, doesn't mean I don't respect the game and how war is played. So I know if somebody is marching on me, unless all my troops are home, and we're equally matched or they're less than me, I might lose something. And being that I already had some in my hospitals, didn't really want to chance it. Now, going back to the research piece that I wanted to share with you really quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Like I said before, this is a very important piece of research that you want to make sure you have. Let's see, let me scroll down. This Red Priest, I've been working on that for a bit. Red Priest is the one that you really need to have, and it goes to show you, especially from my my attacks, that this really does a lot of good. So this is going to convert your wounded, or convert the troops that should have died to wounded, which is what really saved me. So I give a lot of props to this specific research piece. Definitely don't scrimp on that. And I hope you find this very helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Have a great day and happy gaming.